Hello there, we are live on another instalment of Force 13 Live. We're discussing more tropical cyclones which are active right now around the world, two of them in particular in the southern hemisphere right now. And these are two significant storms. Cyclone Ikola, or Ikola, I'm not sure on the pronunciation on that one, headed towards Australia. I'm not sure whether that will affect Australia itself, but we'll obviously find out in the coming days, and we'll show you the track map and all that sort of stuff, the tracking map. And also tropical storm or cyclone Joalane as well, which is located in the Indian Ocean and could be a significant threat for the island of Rodrigues in the southwest Indian Ocean, and that could possibly become a Category 5 in the next 2 days as well. We're joined by several other people this evening. We're joined by Jean. He's joining us from Mauritius, so it's excellent for him to join us this evening. The storm probably won't affect Mauritius too much, but of course he may be our eyes on the ground in the next few days, depending on where the storm goes. We've also got Daniel. His nickname's Waniel. He's looking nice this evening. Hello, Dan.
Hello.
You're actually in a well-lit area.
Yeah.
That's very rare.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. We're also joined by Janelle in Romania, where it must be very late as well.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you this time. Excellent.
Yes, thank you.
Hope you enjoy our coverage this evening. We're also joined by Michael. Where are you, Mike? If you even hear anymore. Michael's somewhere to be found in the chat room. We've also got Nick, who's showing us the sea surface temperatures right now.
Hello, are yours?
Hi. We'll certainly want to look at the sea surface temperatures and many other things as well during the course of the next hour, which will be on air. I think Michael's back with us. Mike?
Yep, sorry, there we go. It's just my laptop decided to turn itself off.
You're looking at us to fake the screen. Daniel won't like that.
No, look, there's my laptop there.
Yeah?
I've hooked a VGA up to the TV, so I might, if I can line it up correctly, I might be able to show some satellite images on here.
Okay, well, let's hope so. You might want a better webcam in future as well, by the looks of things. That's the only thing that's letting you down now. The only thing.
Yeah.
So
I need a high def one.
Yeah.
I give some live updates, like intensity and that.
Well, since you're offering, go ahead.
Okay, so as you know, guys, we do have, I believe, 2 systems active worldwide at the moment, which are the 2 tropical cyclones down in the South Indian Ocean. Tropical cyclones. I really can't pronounce this. Is it Joalane? Joalane?
I've no idea. I said earlier Joalane. I've no idea.
Yeah, it's kind of like going from John. You know, and also we have Tropical Cyclone Ikola. So yeah, those are the only 2 systems active at the moment worldwide.
That's enough to keep us going, I'm sure. That's why we're doing a live update this evening.
Yeah, so Joalane currently winds of 80 knots, which I'll show you on the knots to miles an hour calculator.
No, it's higher than that now. That was as of 3 p.m. UTC. It's going to be much stronger than that now. As far as I know, oh, that's an old update as well. Let me try and find its latest intensity. It is going to be higher. Its intensity has gone up only a little bit, but it has gone up to 85 knots, and that is 100 miles per hour or 160 kilometers per hour, right?
So yeah, so now it's officially been upgraded to a Category 2 storm.
On the Saffir-Simpson scale. And going down.
And also, they're also expecting a Category 5, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what the forecast is currently saying.
Because they've got 140 knots, 161.1 miles an hour.
Oh, right.
Rounded, that's 160 miles an hour.
So we are expecting a Category 5 there in the next 2 days. Something to watch, certainly.
That's my antivirus software. So yeah, should we show you some satellite images on here? Nathan?
Other people's screens as well, because just because the screen quality is a bit better when it's actually on screen share, but it's nice that you're showing us from this perspective too.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can just turn this a little bit more.
Yeah,
Okay, is that better? Can you see that now?
Fine. It's looking fine.
Yeah.
Okay, So this is 21. Says 21S. That is
That's the
21S. That's Ikola. So should we look at some visible imagery first?
Well, it's not visible anymore because it's nightfall, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, look. In the last sort of few frames, you can see that the storm is possibly going through some extratropical transition there. I think
Already?
it looks as though it could be doing some sort of extratropical transition because the storm is starting to pull itself apart. It's kind of looking that way.
Certainly weakening. Let me just show you on this Australian map as well, showing what the Bureau of Meteorology thinks the storm's going to go. It's weakened. It was a Category 4. That's on the Australian scale. It's now down to a Category 2 on the Australian scale, which I think is... I think it might be down to Category 1 now. Let me just confirm that. I don't know whether anyone else knows at this point what its intensity is, but it was Category 2, and yes, it has gone down to 90 miles per hour, Category 1 at the latest update.
Nathan.
And that's headed for Australia. Well, sort of. It's going to dissipate by the looks of things west of Perth. Michael?
Nathan here. This is the satellite image of Joalane with the track forecast. And if you can see this dot here, can you see that?
Quite difficult to see.
Okay, yeah, but there's a dot here that says that does actually have on the forecast as a Category 5 storm by the 9th at 1200.
Here's a map from Meteo France showing where the storm's expected to go. Going to be significantly stronger as it continues towards the southeast. You can see where the storm will be in relation to Rodrigues. These times on this screen is all local time in Mauritius. So the closest approach, what do you reckon, about 7 or 8 a.m. on the 10th of April local time. So early in the morning in UTC, the storm will make its closest approach to Rodrigues by the looks of it. Also, you can speak to us on the comments section of the YouTube page right now. You're more than welcome to do so. And of course, you can speak to us on the social platforms, also Facebook and Twitter. You know the drill. Just search Force 13 on those and get in touch whilst we're on air. We'll do our best to answer your questions and any comments that need addressing. Michael?
Well,
Daniel?
Daniel could do it.
Daniel, how are you doing
I
today?
haven't really got anything to add.
Oh, that's a shame.
I'm doing alright.
Some things never change.
What's a shame?
Tell you one thing,
Yeah, go on.
Pardon?
my website really does need updating.
So does mine.
You have a website?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't even know that. I can't even. Oh dear, I forgot that I even made that page, Nick.
Oh.
It is helpful though, as long as they're still all up to date.
Yeah, they are.
Are they? Oh, good. That's good to know. Why we're looking at the Eastern Pacific?
Oh, I'm just, randomly clicking around.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking at all the screens as we go along. Jean's showing us the track map, what it's expected for the cyclone, Joalane. Or Joalane, I have no idea. Expected to move towards the southeast. You can't actually see the island of Rodrigues on that map, but it is not too far from the 48th hour point. You can see it on mine as well, just as easily. Expected to move towards the south or southeast, and will certainly be a problem for Rodrigues in the coming days. I'm not sure whether any warnings are in effect just yet. Might be a bit early to talk about that, but I'm sure they will be before too long. Who's got the noise in the background, by the way? We've lost Daniel. Michael, what's going on now?
Not much. I'm just doing stuff at the moment. I'm just gonna have a look and see if we've got any comments on the page.
I've had a look already.
I'll keep an eye on that for you as well.
Yeah, please do. What's Michael looking at? Oh, he's on thingamajig, YouTube. I forget his name.
What's that there?
What?
I see a certain symbol on a certain flag.
All right, let's not get into that.
No.
Probably one of Michael's friends.
Yeah, probably.
Well, John is showing us the latest.
I don't know. My mum does look on YouTube as well, and I kind of leave my YouTube logged in. So whatever she looks, that comes up on my YouTube feed.
Not very helpful, Michael. So
No.
John's showing us the latest satellite imagery of both the storms. You can just about see Ikola on the right-hand side, just to give you a sort of perspective on where those storms are currently located. Of course, Cyclone 22S, Joalane, likely to move towards the south. It is already beginning to do that. Sort of done a bit of a cyclonic loop round that general vicinity, and now it's headed towards the south. Mauritius may see some heavy rain. Winds possibly not so much. Réunion even less, but Rodrigues could possibly see maybe worse typhoon conditions or hurricane conditions, whichever one you want to call it. Now, Michael's watching us, is he? Excellent. I can hear myself. Thanks, Mike. Nick's showing us the latest imagery from Australia. You can make out the outline of Australia there on the central to right part of the screen. And Cyclone Ikola delivering all that rainfall to the whole area around Western Australia, which is where Jason is right now. I'm not sure whether we'll have Jason joining us this evening, but if we do, I think it'll be from a very wet Perth, and it will. He tells us when these sorts of conditions do occur that these Michael, when these conditions
Nathan.
Western Australia, yeah, you don't have to say it, Michael. When these conditions occur in Western Australia, Jason's screen goes all sorry, not Jason's screen, but Jason's internet connection goes down the plug hole just a little bit.
They've had a bit of hail there, haven't they?
Well, that's what he was saying not so long ago.
Yeah. Michael.
I'm not sure if anyone at home can see that, but yeah, Michael's having a nice time in a different way. He's just looking at Daniel's face, which is very good. Anyway, so places that we're looking at. No warnings in effect just yet. I've had a look. There aren't any warnings in effect for Mauritius or for Australia at this point. That may change as time goes on. We'll obviously keep you well up to date at all times, as we hope so anyway. One day we hope to have a 24-hour rolling service. That's what I'd love to see, eh?
Yeah.
I don't think that'd work very well.
Well, apparently you can do. Apparently you can do Google Hangout. Nathan, apparently you can do a Google Hangout for up to 8 hours.
Yeah, I knew that.
It wouldn't work very well for me because I won't be able to take part in it.
I could do it if I had nothing planned. I'm off to Hailing Island tomorrow, I think.
Hey, the idea of doing a rolling broadcast for so long is that people drop in and out.
Oh yeah.
See?
No, but guess what? Mixed Got Radio went out of business as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went out of business last year.
You should amalgamate yourself into the new Force 13 revolution. Who knows?
If you want, I could start looking into possibly helping you set up a Force 13 radio.
I think it would be really cool. I'm looking forward to doing that one day, probably later this year. But we can't start yet. We need more personnel.
Good.
So if anyone's interested, just get in touch with Nathan. I'm sure he'll give you his email address to get hold of him.
Everyone knows how to get in touch by now, surely. But just in case you don't, you can send me an email directly, actually. Force-13, that's the number 13, at hotmail.co.uk is my email address. I'm not afraid to give it out. I don't get many spams anymore.
I also have my own Force 13, not Force 13, 15 even. I've got my own email address as well, dedicated.
You can have a little Force 15 slot where you can talk about the UK weather for an hour, Michael. How about that?
Yeah.
Nick Office.
Actually, do you think I could do a...
and then you can have Nick Office as well, where he can talk about his local weather for an hour.
Yep. Could I do an update? Like,
what, right now?
The UK weather?
We'll sort of do that towards the end of the show, Mike. But the pressing matters at the moment are the two cyclones we have active. That's the whole reason we did this update. John's showing us the map for Joalane. It's quite difficult to get a gauge of where the storm is there, but you can just about see the small island of Rodrigues near the 48-hour location on the red line, the GFS. GFS takes the closest. The island of Mauritius will be just off screen to the left-hand side of the 20 degrees south point, somewhere around there. But the models, they take the storm just past Rodrigues, of course, but in differing distances away from the island.
Nathan.
Yeah?
Here's Mauritius now.
Yeah.
I think that could be Joalane. Joalane there.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And just put that through on the loop.
And you can just about make out the island of Mauritius on the right-hand side there, but Rodrigues is an even smaller island, which you can't.
I think Rodrigues is just about there.
Yeah, somewhere around there, Michael.
And also, if we look at, I can look at the pressure charts for that area as well. For like all the isobars as well. I think that's just there.
Yep.
You can see it moving down south.
Sean's showing us the Earth map right now, showing what looks like a very intense cyclone. Don't know whether we can wind forward a day or two, see what it will look like in 2 days. There it goes. Loading slowly.
Bloody hell.
What's that? Oh, Michael's on it too, is he? Oh, he's looking at the hangout. Yeah. Yeah.
Bloody hell, that looks gonna be really intense.
Certainly does. And you can also see Ikola on the right-hand side of the screen there as well. I think it still is that, isn't it? Headed towards Australia over the next few days. It's a Category 2 on the Australia scale, Ikola. Cyclone Joalane is a Category 2 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, and current projections are for it to be a Category 5 storm once more, the third one in the southwest Indian Ocean in 2015.
That's six in total this year, isn't it?
No, that would make 5.
Alright, well, close enough.
But if it does reach Category 5, it would be remarkable, because the record amount ever in a year is 13 in 1997. It looks like we're on course for that at the moment. We're only in April.
Yeah.
Depends what the West Pacific comes up with. There's another image of the storm shown by Jean.
Oh, yeah, by the way,
Rodrigues. Yeah, Michael?
guys, officially,
Spit it out.
it is 5 weeks and 3 days until the official start of the 2015 East Pacific hurricane season.
Well, how about that?
I thought it would already be gone. I thought.
Hold on, guys. Let's have a little chat with Daniel the novice here. So, Daniel, what was your thinking?
I thought that East Pacific hurricane season was now.
No.
But Pam was in the East Pacific, wasn't it?
No, it's the South
No.
Pacific.
Michael, okay, keep your hair on. Keep your hair on,
I
Michael.
mixed up my west and my east.
Yeah, and the south as well.
Sorry.
Let me just have a quick
Yeah.
chat to Daniel here. Daniel, yeah, the East Pacific starts on May the 15th,
Yeah.
and the East Pacific is the point north of the equator and east of the international date line. Does that make any sense at all to you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. It includes Hawaii, it includes the western coast of the United States and Mexico, even though not many storms make it to the west coast of the US, but you get the odd one.
Yeah. I'll just move.
So I'm glad we got that cleared up, Daniel. I'm so pleased.
Good.
Daniel there is our resident novice here at Force 13, but he's getting there, and it's a full credit to him for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, some people like to laugh in the faces of novices because they don't know what they're talking about, but I don't see it that way. I like to educate them nicely and be respectful and all that sort of stuff.
We have a funny way of showing it.
Oh, really? Stephen says, as of 2014, Rodrigues, the population there was about 41,669, which is quite a lot. It's almost as much as my town. And it's not on a tiny island either. What's Yanel showing us? A picture of that
Nathan,
very
go back to the page, like the YouTube.
No, I'm gawking at Cyclone Ikola. It's a nice picture of it. Michael, what were you saying?
Go back onto the YouTube page and look.
Yeah. Yeah, what about it?
Look at my comment.
Tell them I said hi. They can see that you said
Just
Fool.
for lol.
Why can't you just say hi
just got
on air,
really bored.
eh? Yeah,
I
clearly.
think he's shy.
I just thought it'd be more funny just you reading it out and tell them said hi. I just
Yeah,
really wanted to
certainly.
laugh.
Alright, fine.
Just trying to get a cheap laugh.
Okay, it was very cheap.
Ow!
Daniel, don't ow on air, thank you.
A cat just got me then.
Okay, I think you need to lock your camera
Hopefully
away
you got
from
something
there.
important.
Okay, thank you, Michael. So here's the latest Navy image of Cyclone Joalane as it's moving towards the south. Its wind speed, if you've just joined us, it's 100 miles per hour. That's 160 kilometers per hour. Its air pressure is around 959 millibars, and it's headed towards the south. You can see on my map here the small island of Rodrigues, population 42,000, located here. The small island there where my cursor is hovering around. Further west are the two islands Mauritius here and Réunion on the left-hand side here, and further north some other islands as well. I'm not sure what that island is. I think it might. If it's not part of Mauritius, it's part of the Seychelles. And I think, wasn't there another tiny island somewhere near the storm as well? I'm not sure, but oh yeah, there's another small island here which my mouse is hovering around. I'm not sure how well populated it is, but I'm sure Stephen will dig up the dirt on that one if anyone can. Michael, anything to add?
Do you want me to go back and look at some satellite images onto a thing here?
Yeah, please do. Try and make it the full size of your screen if possible. Before we look at that, what's Chanel looking at? He's looking at a map. Okay, fine. Jean is showing us a pressure map showing both storms. I think that might have been when was that? That was 4 p.m. local time. So that was a good 7 or 8 hours ago now. St. Brandon is the other island I was thinking of.
Okay, here we go. So just
that's Ikola at the moment, isn't it? Can you blow that up? So you can see on the left-hand side there some yellow areas. That's a dry air, and that may be interfering with the storm at this point as well. I don't know what the wind shear might be like at the moment either, because
I'll get up the wind shear.
well, I'll do it, Mike. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna
What will it?
quick look at it. I want to see for myself anyway. West Australia. Yeah. I thought it was the case. I didn't want to say just in case, but it is in a high wind shear environment. You can see it's entering the red zones now, so a very strong wind shear around the storm. Michael,
Also looking on here.
have a look at the southwest Indian Ocean as well. Is that what he's showing?
Yeah,
That's the Atlantic.
This is the Atlantic. Looks like the Atlantic at the moment is a no-fly zone.
No storm zone, you mean?
Well, no-fly zone, same thing. It's like a metaphor.
Okay,
And
fine.
also just look at the Eastern Pacific. There's a
Please.
few pockets, but looks like the Eastern Pacific's also a no-fly zone.
Please look at the southwest Indian Ocean, Mike.
Westpac, southeast, somewhere. Indian Ocean. Here we go.
Yes.
In case anybody hasn't already noticed, it's crashed 2 times already.
Yeah, it has. It's annoying, isn't
Live
it?
stream.
There's
annoying,
no
isn't it?
icon there for Ikola. I think that's Joalane there. But I think it's because Ikola's dispersing quite
Just on
quickly.
the very right-hand side is no, it isn't. It's the it's that area towards the right, isn't it? Where there's low amounts of wind shear, where my cursor's hovering right now. I think that's Ikola, if I'm not mistaken.
There's that's Joalane. That's I'm currently in a pocket of low wind shear.
Low to the east and west at the moment. Increasing to the southeast though.
Well, here you go. There's Ikola, Western Australia. Ikola there, entering quite high area of wind shear, around about 40% at the moment. But that will get higher as the storm does continually to move southwards.
What do you mean 40%, Michael? There's an actual number that goes with that. I mean, by my reckoning, it's under around 40 knots of wind shear, which is staggering, really. Storms don't survive long in such a high wind shear environment.
You also got here wind shear like 100 knots. There,
That's the white
and that's that's the actual where the storm's heading for.
yes, but it
So it wouldn't
probably won't
be.
enter that area.
I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't dissipated already.
Don't forget, these maps aren't static. The wind shear can move around a lot as the storm continues. We saw with Maysac, it was pushing it away.
I'm looking at the combo map now for the Atlantic and Pacific. Both are
Quite
quite a
difficult
lot of.
to see from here at such a wide area, Mike. So we'll show them some. Who's on a ship? It sounds like someone's on a ship at the moment. Where's all that noise
think I
coming
know who it
from?
So Nathan, looks as though there's a possibility. Also looks like there's the possibility.
It's not me.
There's a possibility there.
Okay, Nick.
By the Philippines here. There's a possibility of some storms developing in the South China Sea.
There's something what?
There's a possibility that some storms could develop in the South China Sea because quite low wind shear, and also I did look earlier and there's some quite high sea surface temperatures actually.
Yeah, of course. Let's take a look at what's
Michael.
going on.
Yes.
Is that noise coming from you?
No.
Oh.
I mean, if you look at the West Pacific area, there's next to nothing going on right now. The South China Sea, there's nothing there. You can just about see what's left of Maysac actually towards the north, but with the lack of cloud coverage, you can see that very, very, very little is going on there. There's the odd thunderstorm towards the south here near the Philippines, one over the island of Mindanao, and further east, not much going on either, at least not as far as Pompeii anymore. What's left of Haishen, I'm not even sure where that is anymore. I think it's just this little bit of cloud here where daylight is falling upon now. So quiet in the West Pacific after a burst of activity.
I feel like the odd one out here because I'm not sharing anything.
No, you're sharing yourself,
Me?
I suppose.
What?
Hi, Nick.
Hi.
What's going on there?
I'm on an app right now. Wind Tunnel Pro, by the way, you should get it.
You sound like you're worried about being here for some reason.
I am very worried about being here.
Fair enough. I won't
Do you
say
want me to
anything.
eject you?
What's that?
Do you want me to eject you, Nick?
No. Let's take a look at the Indian Ocean right now. You can see both storms here. Cyclone Joalane on the left-hand side, beginning to get that look, isn't it? Don't you think? Of perhaps an intense storm in the making. On the right-hand side, you have Cyclone Ikola, very sheared, and I did wonder whether that would be the case as it heads towards Australia. All that rainfall, though, that it's producing along the western coast could be in for a very a bit of an inundation deluge over the next few days in the western part of Australia, Perth included, where Jason is right now. We've not seen him so far in the show. I wonder whether he'll come along towards the end. Michael, let's see what the
Nathan,
temperatures are saying.
this is the sea surface temperatures. So looking at the areas currently where Ikola and Joalane are. Joalane is about here at the moment. Although I think this map is a bit outdated because it's got the 6th of April, which was yesterday.
That's no real
but
difference.
this is the latest that they've got. And so Jean's here. Probably it's about it's around about 28 to 26 degrees, just above the tropical cyclone threshold of 26 degrees. And also Ikola over here, it's about here, just under the threshold, which is also weakening the storm as well. It also has high wind shear, low, and the sea surface temperatures below the threshold.
It's true.
So
the sea surface temperatures in that area are much lower around Ikola, and it will fall below the 26 line for Joalane as well, beyond Rodrigues. But until it gets there, it's going to be around 28 degrees or so. So very warm waters all the way, almost for Joalane on its hunt to become the Category 5 storm, perhaps.
Yeah, that'd be the third in the South Indian, wouldn't it? And I believe now the fourth or fifth worldwide in 4 months. It's averaging that out. It'd be the fifth. Yeah, because we've had Pam, Eunice, we also have had Bansi, and there was the one in the
odd one out, Maysak.
Yeah, Maysak. That's a Cat 5 as well. And also, if Joalane becomes Category 5, that'd be the fifth this year. I'm just hoping that we do get a Category 5 down in the not down south. I mean in the Atlantic this year, because it's been quite a gap now. Because the last one we had was Hurricane Felix back in 2007.
Be careful what you wish for, Michael. Daniel?
I thought it would be a bit warmer.
Oh.
Because looking on that, I don't see any red on that diagram. I thought it'd been brown.
Michael's using a slightly different map to the one that I usually use.
Alright.
The one that that he's wishing for, or something like that.
What was that, Nick?
What was the one that Michael's wishing for, like a hurricane or something?
Michael said he's wishing for a Category 5 in the Atlantic this year.
I want one out to sea, not like making landfall as a Cat 5 like Katrina.
Katrina didn't actually do that. But,
well, it was a Cat 3 at landfall, but
we get you, Mike.
Yeah, but actually, also I might do a live event for this in August. But on August 29th this year, it is the 10th anniversary of the landfall of Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana.
Indeed.
Maybe we could have something.
I'm actually thinking about going out to New Orleans and going out there for the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. It seems to be cheaper to go at the end of August than it is at some other times.
Still a lot of money though.
It is. At least from the UK anyway, and you can't go direct.
Perhaps we could include a section of Hurricane Week.
It'd be weird.
Yeah, possibly.
It'd be weird if we have another like hyperactive season 10 years after another really bad, really hyperactive season.
Well, 1995.
So it's happened once before, I think. Where I think it was 92 in the EPAC was quite active, and so was 2002.
Right. Don't forget 1995 in the Atlantic was pretty busy also. Some strong storms that year. It was the start of what we call the active period that we've had recently in the Atlantic, which went from 95 to sort of 2012, didn't it? But I mean, I was in Miami last year around this time of year, and I got to visit the area where Katrina made her first landfall. That's probably the closest I'll ever get.
Oh yeah, 1995 in the Atlantic got up to T.
Well, yes, that's right. Tanya.
I think I saw that.
Tanya. Hurricane Tanya.
Daniel?
I think I saw the video. You did a video, didn't you, where you visited Katrina's...
That's right. That's Cyclone Education Week last May into June.
I saw that. That was good.
Don't forget, everyone, we're doing Hurricane Week this year in 2015. That's going to be in November, and we're going to be releasing all the details very soon, as we know. And we want as many people to take part as possible. We'll fill you in on that, Michael.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm looking at the 1995 Atlantic Hurricane survivors, but quite a few intense storms. 4 major hurricanes: Felix, Luis, and Opal, Category 4 storms, and Roxanne, a Category 3. And also Marilyn, a Category 3 storm as well.
Like 2011 in
There's,
a way, where there were some strong storms, but 2010, where there were some strong storms, but no Cat 5s.
Yeah, we'll have a look. I'm just gonna have a look at that. 2010. I remember watching a documentary about the first one, Hurricane Alex, a Category 2 storm on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and actually was one of the names retired that year.
I remember tracking Alex.
Yeah, we've got Hurricanes Danielle, Earl, Igor, and Julia.
Igor,
Category
not
4
Igor.
storms.
Started.
And actually, Igor, I think I call it Igor.
I
It's,
always called it Igor.
no, I think that's one storm that Nathan's quite fond of.
Really?
Well, I think didn't you? Because there was like this Hurricane Idol competition, and you put Igor forward, didn't you?
Igor.
No.
It's
I
Igor.
don't even know. Oh,
Igor.
quit bickering, you guys.
It's
So,
Igor.
no, actually, okay, Igor. Well, I'll call it Igor. So yeah, Hurricane Igor in 2010
Igor.
was one of
Call
the
it whatever
actually
you want.
Nathan.
Yeah,
Isn't it like we call it one of the bottlers because it was a 155 Cat 4? We call it one of the bottlers, don't we?
It wanted to be a Cat 5, it didn't manage.
Yeah, it was teetering on the edge. I think actually when they actually properly measured it, I think they managed to get it to a decimal point. It was 156.7 miles an hour.
I wouldn't put much faith into one decimal point.
It's literally 0.3
As
off of
in-
a Category 5.
As in, I wouldn't put much faith into their accuracy. Because I'm just not convinced. But yeah, whatever. We're tracking 2 cyclones right now. We're tracking Cyclone Ikola, or whatever you want to pronounce that one as, in the eastern part of the Indian Ocean. That's headed towards Australia, but it's a very badly sheared storm, so I don't think we'll be seeing it for much longer. Look at the wind shear around that cyclone, 40 knots or more. And that's going to remain the case for some time. Cyclone Joalane is also active, and that's expected to pass Rodrigues, possibly as a Category 5 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, and that would be the 5th one of 2015, which is quite remarkable. I'll
Nathan?
compare it with all the other seasons shortly. Mike?
There's something interesting that I want to actually say about the 2011 Atlantic season. It said here that due to the presence of La Nina in the Pacific Ocean, many pre-season forecasts called for an above-average hurricane season in Colorado State University Spring Outlook. The organisation called for 16 named storms, 9 hurricanes, and 4 which would intensify into major hurricanes. And also, yeah, it's apparently due to the when there's La Nina, it normally means that the Atlantic is going to start pushing up some storms, isn't it? And then El Nino, it's the other way around, which I think it was an El Nino this year.
La Nina or neutral,
yeah.
I think, produce more storms in the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's like La Nina is normally encourages more Atlantic hurricanes and less Pacific hurricanes, and more Pacific typhoons as well. But because 2011 was quite a busy year in the Westpac, wasn't it?
What's the
exact opposite is El Nino, which it encourages fewer Atlantic hurricanes, fewer Western Pacific typhoons, as we saw quite a big gap from August through until mid-September back last year in the Western Pacific.
What's the Fujiwara effect?
Let Michael answer that since he's on a roll.
The effect is
Pardon?
what? The Fujiwara effect?
Yeah. I need reminding.
Or Nick could answer if he wants.
Yeah, go on, Nick.
Oh my gosh,
Here we go.
I heard about this.
It's sometimes referred to as the Fujiwara interaction or binary interaction when is binary interaction is when two nearby cyclonic vortices orbit each other.
Oh, jeez.
And close the distance between the circulations of their corresponding low pressure areas.
In layman's
I think
terms,
it's
it
like
means that two
basically
storms are
two
drawing too close to each other, and that one of three things happens. Of course, the Fujiwara effect occurs, where the storms are sort of like, well, they're interacting with each other effectively. You can see the clouds sort of spiral into each other. But this is why storms never merge into each other. One of three things happens. The storms move towards each other, and then they turn each other away, turns each storm away from each other, sort of like repelling.
Repelling like a magnet.
Yeah, I guess. Another thing that could happen is one storm weakens the other storm, or they both weaken each other. And in that case, if storms are significantly weakened, then one could perhaps merge into the other. It has happened before, but only with very weak storms. And the third thing, I forgot.
Has one ever merged like and intensified?
I believe so. I mean, there's plenty of situations where remnants of tropical cyclones have merged with an upcoming tropical cyclone. I think Katrina might have been one of those, wasn't it?
No, because that was one of these storms that kind of like went into the United States and then just started heading north and I think dissipated somewhere over Illinois.
No, I'm not about the remnants of Katrina. I'm about the beginnings of Katrina. I think two low pressure systems merged.
What about the phenomenon where
I'll look at it.
Go on, Daniel.
Things in the southern hemisphere that rotate a different way? What's that called?
It's called the Coriolis effect.
Alright, yeah, I always get them mixed up with names.
Yeah, it turns these systems the other way. So we get storms that spin anti-clockwise, and they get storms that spin clockwise.
Alright.
Yeah, Daniel, don't yawn. Let's throw out some stats now. We've seen possibly this could be our 5th Category 5 storm this year already. Get this, in 2013. Yeah, just let me finish. In 2013, we didn't see a single Category 5 storm until September the 19th, and they ended up finishing with 6 at the end of the year. So imagine that. If we had 2013's ending coupled with 2015's beginning, we'd end up with 11 Category 5 storms or more.
Nathan.
Yeah?
I'm just looking at a bit of Hurricane Katrina. It says Hurricane Katrina formed as Tropical Depression 12 over the southeastern Bahamas on August 23rd, 2005, as a result of an interaction between the tropical wave and the remains of Tropical Depression 10.
That's the one.
It strengthened into Tropical Storm Katrina on the morning of August 24th. The tropical storm moved towards Florida and became a hurricane only 2 hours before making landfall between Hallandale Beach and Aventura on the morning of August 25th.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mike, we didn't want an essay.
The storm weakened over land, but regained hurricane status after 1 hour entering the Gulf of Mexico, and it continued strengthening over open waters. It reached Category 3 on August 27th. Then, what is it? But it went for an I will replacement cycle.
Michael. That's enough, Mike. We didn't want a Katrina documentary today. We'll do that another time.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a video project at school, and we're doing a Katrina documentary.
Okay, good. We've got 2 storms to track at the moment, though. We've got Cyclone Ikola in the eastern part of the Indian Ocean. It's in the Australian region now. It's a Category 2 storm on the Australian scale. It is down to 90 miles per hour, which is a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson-Hogan wind scale. It's around 150 kilometers per hour. And is on its way to weakening into a low-pressure system, which is likely to happen in the next 24 hours as it heads towards Australia. Probably won't really make landfall, but rainfall already occurring over the area, and then Jason reported earlier that there is hail occurring there. So already the effects being felt in Western Australia from the storm. Who's making all that noise?
It could be me.
Now I can hear myself.
That's Michael then.
It's one of you
could
guys.
be my headset's too loud.
Yeah, possibly.
Get somebody turn Michael down. He's too loud.
Right. Okay. So we've got that obviously, but we've also got what may be a bigger matter, perhaps, Cyclone Joalane, which is expected to brush Rodrigues, possibly and move past that area possibly as a Category 5 storm. Lots of possibilities in that sentence. The next 48 hours are crucial, I suppose, for the storm's development, and in 48 hours' time, currently forecasted that we will see a Category 5 storm out of Joalane, the cyclone, in the Indian Ocean. So that'll be quite something if it happens. Obviously, those in Rodrigues need to be preparing for this storm. Because we could quite possibly, if a slight deviation on the storm's track, we could see something much worse
Michael,
than
what are
we're
you
currently
doing?
expecting. Daniel, keep it private, that one.
Pardon?
Keep your confrontations private
Sorry.
whilst we're on air.
Shall I do Queen Elizabeth?
No.
No.
Michael,
No.
I won't. I promise. I promise I won't.
That's for off-air activities, Michael. You'd never believe what he gets up to when we're off-air. But that's for you guys
Yeah.
to. That's for you guys to imagine, and not for you guys to actually experience, because it's going to be an experience from hell. So let's continue.
Yeah. So, if you want, guys, should we play a game of Guess the Storm?
In just a quick moment, Michael, let me just take a look at more imagery from Cyclone Joalane, which is moving towards the south. Don't forget, that storm now has winds of 100 miles per hour, which is 160 kilometers per hour, and intensifying, and could become a Category 5 in the next few days. You can see Rodrigues towards the bottom there, further south, the islands of Mauritius on the right, and Réunion on the left there, and that is where Jean is located, and I'm sure he'll be giving us updates as well as the storm draws ever nearer. Probably in text, because he's a bit shy. He doesn't talk much on the Hangouts.
Michael.
Also, Ikola, which is weakening and being torn apart by wind shear. I think that'll be gone before too long in the next few days. Daniel?
Can you guys see? Can you guys see the storm?
Just a moment.
Yes.
Do you know what storm that is?
Just a moment before we look at the storm.
Actually,
Daniel,
no,
what were you-
Nothing to add, really. I don't think.
Oh, well, you let me down.
Pardon.
Right, what we're looking at, Michael?
I've let you down.
Can you do Guess this Storm?
We can barely see it, to be quite honest with
It
you.
just looks like a white blob.
It is. Yeah, even Pablo couldn't get that.
No. Oh well.
Yeah, not very helpful.
If I was on the computer now, I could do
Can you
it.
see it now?
Pitch it up a bit, Mike.
Yeah, well, we can't see.
What, do you want it up a bit more?
We're going to see. Yeah, we're looking at the bottom of your screen there, Mike. It's not very helpful. It really isn't. Okay,
You see that
Michael's
now?
just missing it. Right, so you can see
It looks like a
particular
blob.
islands to the south is what I'm most interested in. So, there's a few storms that it could be. What is the noise that Michael's making there?
Can you see if anybody's guessed on the YouTube bit?
I don't think anyone will get it, to be honest with you, Michael, and I don't think anyone will be in the mood for guessing either. Who is making that noise?
That's Nick, I think.
Is it Nick?
I'm not making any noise. I'm
Nick
hearing
isn't
that.
making the noise.
I'm not making the noise.
I think it's
Oh.
Michael. There's not supposed to be a guessing game of who's making the most noise here. Michael, I thought you were going to give us a weather forecast as well.
Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah, it's a good idea for you to do that now. In the meantime, we'll
Okay,
just give people more imagery to look at.
By the way, it was Hurricane Isabel.
What on earth is that noise?
Actually, it's not even Michael making that noise. Who is? It can only be Daniel or Nick.
It's
That's
not
not-
me. I'm holding
Okay,
that.
you ready, guys, for the weather
That is
forecast?
so strange. Yeah, get on with it, Michael.
Guys? Okay, ow. Okay,
Oh, I don't know.
okay, guys. So, we're going to look at a few locations. We're actually going to look at where Jean is. We're going to look at Mauritius. So we'll go to Mauritius first.
It's an atrocious noise, that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Daniel,
sorry.
thanks for muting me.
I thought I was muting somebody else.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So looking at the forecast for Mauritius, looks as though for the next few days could be a fairly nice spell for Mauritius as Cyclone Joalane passes, possibly getting a few rain bands from Joalane, but a little bit, but it's probably unlikely to be majorly affected by the system as it passes. And also, go and now look at...
That is
Okay.
Michael, that, isn't it?
It's not me.
Stop it. It sounds like you're pressing your fingers and just sliding them down on a window.
Oh yeah, okay, so now we're looking at Washington DC,
Oh, what's going on
in the United States of America.
there? Right, what's going on there
And
then?
No, you
well,
have to say like
it
America.
seems to be quite wet at the moment.
Nick should do the forecast for his own country.
Yeah, just looking at it, it's quite wet at the moment. Although quite nice highs in Washington DC. Although there's going to be a thunderstorm possibly on Friday.
Wouldn't really care about the highs. If you're going to get a thunderstorm, it's a thunderstorm.
Yeah. So now we'll go to our home turf, which will be London, in the United Kingdom.
For you. There is more places than London here in the UK.
Yeah, I'm just doing it by really capital
Contrary to
cities.
popular belief.
Yeah. So next few days seems to be quite nice. Highs of 16 tomorrow. Around it's going to be quite a mild week actually.
The weather has
nice.
been awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's been very mild. It's been quite mild actually. Yeah. We should be in for quite a nice week actually. And actually looking
Well, that's
at
great
where
to
I'm
know.
possibly going- Actually looking where I'm possibly going tomorrow. Looking at Hailing Island. Looks to be set to be quite a nice day tomorrow. 12 degrees. Quite clear nights as well.
Take lots of pictures and do a mobile update for us, Mike.
Yeah, I can post it on YouTube when I get back.
Don't forget that we have our other channel, Force 13 Extra, XTRA it's spelled, Force 13 Extra, where we have all our members uploading their very own videos for the channel, where you can see everyone let loose.
Okay, so and also, we got much else to say. So basically, putting that in summary, it's going to be a nice week. Yes.
Awesome.
Pipe down.
Awesome, Michael. Okay, 8 minutes to 11 here in the UK. It is 8 minutes to 2, is it? Or is it 8 minutes to 1? Yeah, 8 minutes. Is it? No, I'm wrong. 8 minutes to 2 in Mauritius right now, at least. And early morning in Mauritius, where the storm Joalane could be headed in the next few days. In particular, the island of Rodrigues. Also, a little bit later on in Australia. I'm sure visible imagery will be starting to appear there in a few hours. But not just yet. Michael?
Oh yeah, you said awesome. By the way, guess what?
What?
Wait for it.
What are we watching?
I don't want to know, Michael.
You're being muted.
Hang on.
Well, that's Daniel's idea. Just to reiterate what the situation is with the storm.
Yeah.
Excellent, Michael. The situation with the storms is that tropical cyclone Ikola is weakening due to high wind shear. And it's headed towards Australia and is likely to dissipate very soon in the next few days.
Could somebody turn Michael off?
We also have tropical cyclone Joalane as well, which is headed towards Mauritius and Rodrigues. Obviously, the wind speed on that storm is 100 miles per hour now, and the intensity on Ikola is dropping. It is now 90 miles per hour. Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. Category 2 still on the Australian scale, and it's headed towards the southeast. Cyclone Joalane, of course, is headed towards Rodrigues and could pass very close to there within a matter of several dozen miles, possibly as a Category 5. 5 minutes before we wrap up here, Nick, Waniel, anything to say? Or even Yanel as well, if you want.
Not much apart from visit the wiki, force-13.wiki.com.
Yeah, you like to get a plug in.
Yeah.
Visit my page.
Feel free.
Visit my website at nickbud.wordpress.com and my YouTube channel, nickbud.com. No, my YouTube channel,
Yeah.
nickbud. With two Ds.
2 days. How about that?
What?
Lots of things for everyone to remember. Before we finish up here, let's tell everyone what happened on this day in the world of storms. On the 7th of April, Tropical Storm Hubert in 2006 dissipated in the South Indian Ocean, and Tropical Storm Victoria formed in the southeastern part of the ocean in 2013. And on the 8th of April, Tropical Storm Kajira formed in the Western Pacific in 2003. That's all from me now.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Now we've just got 5 minutes to talk amongst ourselves.
Michael's not very happy.
Is he not?
No.
Oh dear.
He thinks it was me who kicked him.
Well, it had to happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be watching
No, he's sad.
from the sidelines now, but there you have it. I think we'll end the show there because.
Oh, he was kicked? I didn't even notice.
Well, that's how it goes. There really isn't much else to discuss. Cyclone Ikola headed towards Australia. No warnings in effect yet. Mauritius and Australia may see some warnings coming into effect soon. Probably not the latter because it's going to be very weak by the time it gets there. But heavy rainfall could cause problems in Western Australia if there's too much of it. But we'll see. So, for myself, Nathan Foy, it's time for me to, if it's a word, outroduce everyone. It's the opposite of introduce. Jean from Mauritius, nice of you to join us. It's such a late hour over there, and I'm sure he'll be keeping us regularly updated about the storm as it passes not too far from where he is. So thanks for joining us, Sean. I'm not sure whether I can actually see him there. I can't on my screen. I hope you can at home. Daniel, thank you for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
You're
Goodbye.
You're welcome. Yanel, I know it's also late there, almost as late as where it is at Sean's place. So late, it's really, really dark there. And also Nick. Thanks, Nick, for joining us and being more sensible than our friend Michael.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Goodbye, adios. I
Yeah,
guess.
au revoir, everyone. That's it.
Adios.
No, no one speaks Spanish here as far as I know, just French.
No. Yeah, au revoir.
And that's John's department,
Yeah.
because of course Mauritius French is a popular language, of course. Though we're not doing any updates in French yet, unfortunately. We might want to brush up on that one day. But anyway, thanks for watching us on Force 13. Of course, we'll be keeping you regularly updated on all our social platforms and indeed on the YouTube channel with regular videos and updates. But for now, that is all. Our next live update will probably follow in around 24 hours. Until then, it's nice to see you once more, and we'll speak again soon, I'm sure.
Okay, goodbye.
Ta-ta. Ta-ta.
Oh gosh, Daniel. All right, enough. We're finishing. Here goes. Pressing the stop button now.